really famous people would get coaching, because you're never done. You never wake up one day and go, okay, I've learned everything there is and I could do anything. There's always somewhere else to go. And I think that's what you see really famous actors challenging themselves with really emotional roles, is you're always yearning to go to some place. You're not quite sure if you can do it. You're not quite sure if you can go there. And that would be a great place to get coaching.
And do you kind of have a discussion with the director beforehand to make sure that you're on the same page so that the two visions of coaching versus directing don't collide?
Well, it depends. If it's the actor, I will discuss with the actor what notes they've received from the director or production, and what they've done so far as the role, what they've discovered so far, and we'll just expand on that. More of the coaching that I get on set isn't directly requested from the actor. It's usually something that I've been brought in for. So then I'm on the phone a lot with either the executive producer in Los Angeles or the director here. And we'll have meetings, and we'll touch base on a consistent basis about how things are going, or what needs to be worked on next, or if they have a concern, they'll call me and we'll talk about it, and then that gets communicated to the actor, and so everyone's on the same page.
Okay, and just a little reminder to our listeners who may be just joining us, I'm speaking with Ingrid Torrance, local actor, writer, producer, and now you've added author to your resume, if you will, and you've recently written your first book, Act, a step-by-step guide to starting your acting career. Now, what inspired you to write this book?
I've been teaching for as long as I've been acting, excuse me, and, when you've been teaching as long as you've been acting, you kind of, you find yourself repeating the same things all the time. I find there's so many great classes that teach you craft and, scene study and character analysis, but there's not a lot of business classes as far as, this is technically what you need to do to get to get into the industry. And I think that you'll find people with, 4 years of university theater program under their belt, and they won't know how to get into the industry. So I found I was coaching so many people this way, and, step by step how to do it. And I thought, this is crazy. I should just write this book, because it's obviously not out there. And of course, during my research, I found there's parts of those things that are out there that talk about all them independently, but I don't think anyone's really put it together in one place to go, one book. So I just wrote it. I didn't have, at the time when I started, I didn't have a publisher or an agent for writing, and I just thought, I just need to write this. And so I think mainly selfishly, so I don't ever have to say it again. I can just say, here's the book, here's, read this.
Oh, you have a question? Here's my book.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of a relief to get it out, because I was saying it so much to people. And then, I got it out, and I was, and then a publisher kind of came along towards the end, and then it just got published, and I thought, I didn't see that coming. I don't know why. I just was writing to write at the beginning, and then it just kind of all came together at the end.
And now
Very fulfilling.
And I understand that you've actually also just completed a series of documentaries about the film industry as well. Can you tell us a bit about that?
That was amazing. I have 80 interviews that I did. I was just going to do one documentary film on the industry, and I got so many, everyone said yes that I called and asked if they would let me interview them. So I ended up splitting them all. And now I have a series of documentaries that are on different topics. So they're all with Film West, so they're all available at Film West's website, and that's who's distributing them. And they're documentaries on how to become a director, how to become an independent filmmaker, how to get your kids in TV and film, because I think that's a huge one. So many parents out there who have no knowledge about the industry want to get their kids in the industry, and there's a right way and a wrong way. So there's those two DVDs, and then there's for actors, how to get in the industry as an actor, how to become a better actor. And, all of these people that I interviewed are professionals in their fields. They're all directors, producers, casting agents, actors, they're all in their industry working full time, and some of them are quite well known. And it was, a real gift that they gave me this. So it took a long time,
right.
A lot of editing to get, the really good information out. But now there's at least 2 on every topic. There's 4 for actors, 2 for kids getting into the industry, which is really directed towards the parents, 2 for directing, one's technical, one's creative, and 2 for independent filmmaking. One's more how to actually do it, and the other one is how to get funding and packaging and pitching and all that kind of stuff. So I'm so proud of them, because they're not me. I directed and produced them, and I'm interviewed a couple times, but really this is 80 people that gave me their wealth of knowledge, that donated their wealth of knowledge to these.
Wow. And most of these people were from Vancouver, I take it.
No, they were most of them were in Vancouver at the time. There's a whole bunch of interviews that I did via phone at a professional recording place in LA.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of actors in Los Angeles that I knew, and some directors and producers like Rob Bowman. Everybody kind of knows him from, he directed Elektra and X-Files. He was interviewed in Los Angeles. David Winning was interviewed in Calgary. I have a casting director in Toronto that was interviewed, as well as some really great actors like Monica Schnurr, and so it was quite awesome. Some people I didn't even know. People just kind of said, "Hey, phone them, and they might help you out." And for somebody who doesn't know me, to say yes to that was pretty awesome. There's a lot of knowledge on this. I need to figure out how to let people know about these. I just haven't had the time, because I think that they will help people. There's a lot of people out there that want to direct, that want to make films, that want to act, and this would guide anyone, because it's not one person's perspective. It's 80 people's perspective.
Right. Now, what many people want to know about for the industry, specifically here in Vancouver, do you think the industry is on its way to recovering? Are there more productions? What is your forecast for the Vancouver film industry right now?
Well, right now it's good. Vancouver is an interesting little place, because it'll never go away. And part of why it'll never go away is because we have really reasonable locations. Money is always an issue with productions. So you've got really reasonable costs for locations here. You've got locations that are very diverse. I mean, we can look like any place. Anywhere you can shoot period pieces. It can look like New York, it can look like New Orleans. And then on top of that, you've got, crews that are extraordinarily experienced, 20, 30 years of filming. And then you've got a huge talent pool. And then on top of that, we're on the same, we're 2.5 hours from Los Angeles versus Toronto, which is, 6 from Los Angeles. So we're very close. You can hop up and down. You see a lot of stars that do series in Vancouver go down back home to Los Angeles for the weekend. And we're in the same time zone as Los Angeles, which is really the hub of the entertainment industry. So there's a lot of reasons Vancouver will always exist, and then there's the reasons we get busy, which is the dollar, which right now, even though the dollar is strong for us, that is a reason. If it drops, we'll often get busy because of that. But then there's tax credit, and right now I know people are hooing and hawing over the HST, but I do believe that is why we have about 22 productions filming in January right now.
Wow.
Tax credits. Tax credits are a huge reason that people will come to Vancouver.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Ingrid. That's all the time we have for today. And
yeah, I should actually mention that those DVDs are called the Master's Guide to Becoming, just Master's Guide. If you go to Film West and look up Master's Guide, you'll find it.
And also, if for any other aspiring actors out there, you can get Ingrid's book, Act, a step-by-step guide to starting your acting career at Biz Books, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. And again, thank you so much for joining us today, Ingrid. And thanks to all the listeners who tuned in. I'm Allison Riley, and you've been listening to For the Record on Evolution 1079.